Have you ever wondered why certain countries place year after year at Miss Universe and other major pageants? Well, I'm here to tell you why. I was actually inspired to make this video because of a comment on one of my recent YouTube videos, and the comment read something like this: I'm fed up. Almost every year, the misses from the same countries go forward. Miss USA, Miss Puerto Rico, Miss Brazil, Miss Colombia, Miss Venezuela, Miss Philippines, Miss France, Miss South Africa are most of the semi-finalists. They make up about 80% of the semi-finalists. 20% come from other countries just to blend the situation. That is boring, predictable, and unfair to the smaller countries. This is a topic that I have talked about with different people, and something that I have come to understand more and more the more that I watch pageants, the more that I'm involved in them. To kind of put it bluntly or simply, it's that some countries just care more about pageantry than others. So you typically see countries like Philippines, Thailand, Colombia, Venezuela, just like this person mentioned, doing well in pageants consistently, because in those countries, pageants are a big deal. It is admirable to compete in a pageant in some of those places, and not that it isn't admirable, or maybe some people maybe don't agree with it. I'm sure there's people in those countries who don't agree with pageants, but it's just part of the culture. So for example, here in Canada, people don't really know about Miss Universe. When I talk about Miss Universe to people who aren't really familiar, say if I'm giving a presentation at a school, a lot of the teachers, the students, they know Miss Universe as the competition that Steve Harvey announced the wrong winner. A lot of them are surprised that we even send a representative. They're like, oh, we still have a Miss Universe Canada? We still have Miss Canada? I had no idea. I didn't even know that we sent a representative of Canada to Miss Universe. So in some countries, pageants just are not really part of the culture. So growing up, we didn't really grow up watching Miss Universe, watching pageants. It wasn't something that we knew about, that we were exposed to really. And then you have a country like the Philippines, where people gather around the TV. It's like a celebration. People wear sashes. You see young girls wearing heels, doing walks in evening gowns. They have better catwalks, some of these young girls, than even Miss Universe contestants. Like, it is so crazy. So it is part of the culture in some places. Therefore, it is something that people strive to do. It is something that, say if you're from the Philippines, it is something that people will applaud you for, that they think is admirable and amazing and incredible, and they say, good for you, that's so exciting. Whereas here in Canada, and I know like a little bit in the United States, although the States is a little bit different, some European countries, a lot of European countries actually, it's looked down upon to compete in pageants. Pageants are overall looked at something that is degrading, that they're degrading to women, that they put women on a pedestal, that women parade on stage in bikinis and they wave, and it's all about like surface rather than being like the whole package and being a strong speaker. So in different countries, pageants are looked at differently. So with that then comes a different sense to apply for and strive for these competitions. In some places, there's tons of women who are going to go and compete. They want to win the title. They want to represent their country at a competition like Miss Universe. And then once they win that title, they have major support. They have all kinds of trainers, training camps, they have wardrobe, they have people who are coming at them to help them because they want to be part of sending that girl off to Miss Universe. So then that woman who has all that support, she has amazing gowns, she's an incredible stage walk, amazing stage presence because she's been able to learn it from all these different people. She's a strong speaker, she's very well prepared in interview because she has the support of her country. Then you have someone from a smaller pageant country, even from Canada. Canada has, you know, made its way back up the pageant ranks, but we, for the longest time, and maybe even still, like, we don't really have the same support that some countries do. I'm not really sure where I was at when Leighton rudely interrupted me. Are you coming? Are you able to fit in the frame? A good example, if you will, of people recognizing pageants and it being part of like culture and people finding it exciting is when I'm basically anywhere in Canada. Like, nobody knows who I am, which is fine, but anytime I see someone who's from the Philippines who loves pageants, they're so excited to meet me. They recognize Leighton, they recognize Lily, they want to take a picture. So that right there shows you how it's part of different cultures. Like, it's It's like us seeing celebrities, whether it's athletes or actresses or something. Like it's part of the culture to be looked at as something admirable. When you have these women at Miss Universe, you have all these different countries that people have named: France, Brazil, Venezuela, USA. They show up to Miss Universe and they are so prepared, they're ready to win because they've had all this different help. They've had people helping them in every different way, from wardrobe to speaking to stage presence, because the country is there to support the girl. And then you have women from smaller countries, they show up to Miss Universe, they don't have the same amazing wardrobe, they don't have the same stage presence, they don't have the same walking abilities, they haven't been as prepared in interview because they haven't had the same training, they haven't had the same support, because it just isn't as big of a deal in their country. So then you have these women who are so prepared, so ready to take the crown, and then you have women who are like, you know, amazing in their own ways, they just haven't been prepared the same. You've given this example before. It's like people going to a sporting event competing, and I did a little bit of research and I looked at countries who have done well in the Olympics. So in the Winter Olympics, the top countries are who have won the most medals: Germany, Russia, Norway, USA, Canada, Austria, Sweden, Switzerland, Netherlands, Finland, the Americas, and European countries. Then you have Summer Olympics: USA, Russia, Germany, Great Britain, China, France, Italy, Hungary, Australia, Sweden. Now what I thought was very interesting is that there are not many Asian countries on here, not many Latin countries, because those countries have different like interests, passions, like whether it's pageantry, whether it's soccer.
You could argue like climate has a huge thing to do with like that example.
Well, yeah, climate, yeah, for sure.
Obviously.
Like the cold countries being good with the winter sports.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is like, so the cold countries, what they do is like cold weather sports.
Yeah.
So therefore they are better than other countries.
Yeah, because there's more people interested.
Right. In the pageant world, there's more people in some of these countries that are interested, that engage, that think it's cool, it's part of culture, it's part of the training, it's like there's just so many aspects.
I think a lot of like countries that do well at pageants, like South Africa has done really well for the past like 5 years now, say. And that's probably because like once you start doing well, it's kind of like you start trending in the right direction. Like you see somebody like Demi Lee who wins from South Africa, and they're like, oh, I want to be like Demi Lee. So you start to like be interested in pageants, then start competing, and then start being super competitive with it. So.
And I don't want to toot my own horn here, but Canada hadn't placed at Miss Universe since 2006. Alice Panikian, who followed Natalie Glebova. So for 10 years, Canada didn't place at Miss Universe. I placed, and then suddenly 2 women after me. 2 women? Yeah, Lauren Howe, and then
I don't know.
Marta Stepien.
Oh yeah, Marta.
Placed. We at least had 3 in a row.
There's like some belief in that too. Like I'll use a hockey example. Like 2 of the greatest hockey players in the world are Sidney Crosby and Nathan McKinnon. They're both from a place called Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. Like a super kind of small city, small town in Nova Scotia. Like seeing that they can do it, like that how well you did in 2016, and then Lauren the next year is like, oh, Sierra did it, so like I can do it too. And like provides like some self-belief and some confidence for them, just like knowing that okay, you're from Canada and you placed, so I can do it too.
This past year, Miss Albania, she was or is a very good volleyball player, and so she's on scholarship at a university in California, I forget which one, but she's, you know, obviously beautiful, well-spoken, and an athlete. And with someone like her in the USA and in Canada, she would mostly be encouraged to like go after her athletic abilities and go after her like educational athletic abilities rather than competing in a pageant. So it would be like, oh no, focus on these things. Like you might have the whole package and be able to win Miss Universe, but you'd be better off being an athlete. Like that's just kind of, that's like the mindset, right? That's like how people look at it here. So I think a good way to tie this up is kind of what you said, is a country like Colombia. Colombia has consistently done well. Colombia is well known as a pageant country, but Colombians have seen their women do well year after year. They had Paulina Vega from Colombia win Miss Universe in 2014, 2015 first runner-up, 2016 second runner-up, 2017 first runner-up, 2018 top 5, I think. Was she top 5 or top 10?
I don't know.
Top 10. That country has done well consistently, and they probably will, I mean maybe not, but will probably keep doing well consistently because, like you said, people see.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot that, like, sorry to cut you off, there's a lot that goes into that though too, like, because obviously the director of Columbia is doing the right thing, you know? Like she's grooming the girls, or he or whoever is grooming the girls like correctly, you know, like whatever they're doing is working.
But anyways, that is, I think I think that we could go on and on in different aspects, but the ultimate thing is that different countries look at pageants differently, therefore they have the preparations for for the women different. I don't even know how to properly say this.
There's so many different variables that go into
Yeah.
it. It's like, I hate this expression, but it kind of like, it is what it is. Like when countries go and compete and they're good, they're going to place in the top 10, they're going to place in the top 5
Yeah.
every year. You're not
Yeah.
going to, like, just because Colombia has placed in the top 5 in the past like 7 years doesn't mean they're not going to do it next year because
Yeah.
they like
just
you know,
because I know, like Miss
you can't
Universe,
punish it,
well yeah, like Miss Universe isn't gonna suddenly,
like,
as an organization, gonna not place
like,
certain girls just because
yeah,
they want to like
for
allow
sure.
smaller countries to place.
For sure.
And in saying that as well, one thing I want to quickly say is that this doesn't mean that there's any less or more amazing women from these different countries.
No.
It's just simply that maybe a girl who has the potential to win Miss Universe from a small pageant country isn't competing for it because she doesn't maybe think it's something that she would want to do. Whereas if she lived in a different country that was a big pageant country, it might be like her ultimate dream because she grew up with that dream.
Yeah, and maybe she's just not surrounded by the right people to
To be encouraged to do it.
Thing, right? You
Right.
need
Yeah.
a good support group.
Yeah. When I talk to
So-
a lot of girls who they say they want to do this, but their parents don't agree with it.
Yeah.
So whether it's Miss Teen, Miss Universe Canada, whatever it is, it definitely it's really embedded in the culture, I feel like.
For sure.
Anyways, I think hopefully that gives an interesting look at it. And I know that this is just for me this seems so obvious, whereas for some people they're like, oh wow, I never thought of that before, I never thought of it that way, because some people come from pageant countries where they just they're like, what, we think Miss Universe is the ultimate most amazing thing.
Sure.
Whereas anyway,
Yeah.
okay, we could ramble on enough.
I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of thoughts that come to mind.
Yeah.
But anyway.